Okay, so we're starting off by cooking some onions in some type of oil. I'm sure it's probably country crock here. Just want to get those translucent. Keep stirring, keep stirring. I'm clearly not the best onion chopper. Got a lot of big chunks in there. Currently holding the camera with one hand and cooking with the other. So now I'm gonna add my frozen steak. They're called steakies, and they're really hard right now, so I'm tapping them. Not that you can hear them, but they're frozen, hard, solid. I have the heat down low, so I really want these to cook low and slow, but because otherwise they'll get tough. But it's still not going to take that long because they're really, once they're breakupable, once you can break them apart, then the heat will get, distributed really well. It won't take long to cook. So next I'm going to season my meat with the Mexican seasoning that I normally cook with. I don't really remember where this recipe is from, and I don't really measure, but I'll put it down in the description box below if I find it. So I put some garlic salt in there, and that comes with a little bit of parsley in it. A little bit of that. Next, I'm going to put some oregano, a little bit of that. Like I said, this is really difficult because I'm holding it with one hand. Next, I'm going to put in some ground cumin. I put a lot of this, not crazy amount, but this is the main ingredient to the Mexican seasoning. Next will be onion powder. Good amount of that, doesn't hurt. Next is paprika, not a lot of that. Crushed red pepper, a very tiny bit of this. Don't want a lot of that, especially if you have children eating this. Next is chili powder. Again, not a lot of that if you have children eating this, if you don't like spicy food. This is actually going to make quite a bit. And then the last thing that I'm going to put in here is pepper, but I'm going to fumble with the chili powder for a little bit longer. Just a touch of pepper. So the reason why I wanted to make this video for you guys is because my husband really loves this steak and shrimp rotel dip. I've made rotel dip plenty of times, very simple, but started experimenting with it. So right now I'm checking to see if the steak is breakable. That would be able to tell me how much longer it needs to cook. It's not breakable, so I go ahead and get my cheese out. This is the Aldi version. It's called Clancy cheese melt. And I broke off half, or I cut off half of the brick to see just how much I would need to use. If I could go back and redo this, I would let the juices cook out of the meat better before I put in the cheese, because what ended up happening is I added the whole half block of cheese and it was still kind of runny. And I mean, it wasn't a big deal because it's just a dip, but I would have liked it more creamy, and I didn't want to add, more cheese to it. So if I could, I would cook down some of that liquid, and that would make it so that once I add the cheese, it'll be a better consistency. So anyway, the reason why I wanted to make this is because he swears by it. He says it's delicious. Now, I don't eat shrimp or I don't eat steak, so I didn't eat any of this, but I do eat my normal rotel dip with ground beef or turkey. So now the steaks have cooked enough to where they can easily be broken apart. Now this means that I can start stirring it up and getting those seasonings mixed together better, and also they're able to be broken apart because it'll cook faster with more heat getting in between it, So I'm flipping them over. Having a hard time because I'm holding the camera. breaking them apart, stirring it up. And the reason why I'm trying to get it in as small of pieces is also to aid in separating of the steak. You want the steak to be almost like shredded in the dip. So next I'm going to add my cans I'm going to let that cook. Going to continue to stir it, make sure everything gets well cooked along with the onions. And I'm going to start getting my shrimp ready. My shrimp was frozen. I put it in a bowl of water, let that thaw out a little bit, and then I drained the water off. So what you're going to see here, like I said, I don't eat shrimp. Not that that's an excuse, but you're going to see me make a mistake. I just dumped the shrimp in there, and I've done this before. I wasn't even thinking about it, but I forgot to take the tails off. So you'll see the finished product coming up where I actually did take the shrimp out and rip the tails off and then put the shrimp back in. So please excuse my mistake. So here you see the shrimp without the tails. Oh, forgot one. Gonna get that out. Let that shrimp cook for a while. It's already technically cooked, but get warm and get some seasoning on it. Next, I'm going to add the cans of rotel dip. Okay. I believe I added two cans.
Just added two cans of rotel dip.
You can just add one. It really just depends on how much, how many tomatoes and how much peppers you want in there. And like I said, I really should have let this liquid cook off. You see all that liquid in there still? I should have let that cook before I added the cheese, because when I start to stir it, you'll see just how soupy it is.
Yes, Callie.
It's not a huge deal, but with this already being a cheese melt, it's already melty. So it really didn't need any additional liquid. If I would have just had like brick cheese that wasn't really a melty cheese, then that would have been awesome. That would have been perfect, and I would have needed the liquid. But because I have a melty type of cheese, I didn't need the liquid. I truly thank you guys for watching this. I really enjoy cooking, and I'll be posting more cooking videos later. Thanks for watching. Bye.